Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a question. Have you ever driven somewhere, arrived at your destination, and realized you can't remember the journey? Or maybe you've caught yourself in a pattern of behavior you didn't consciously choose: snacking, procrastinating, or reacting emotionally. That's because 95% of your mind is controlled by something most of us rarely think about: the subconscious. The subconscious mind is often referred to as the hidden powerhouse of our thoughts, actions, and behaviors. Though largely unnoticed, it plays a dominant role in shaping our daily lives. It is estimated that 95% of our mind's activity occurs in the subconscious, leaving just 5% for conscious thought. This imbalance might seem surprising at first, but when we break down how the mind works, it becomes clear why the subconscious holds such a significant sway. The subconscious mind functions as an automatic pilot. It is the repository of all our past experiences, deeply held beliefs, habits, and emotions. Unlike the conscious mind, which is analytical and deliberate, the subconscious processes information quickly and efficiently, allowing us to respond to situations without expending much mental energy. This efficiency is both a blessing and a challenge. On one hand, it enables us to perform routine tasks like walking, driving, or brushing our teeth without having to think about each step. On the other hand, it can also lock us into patterns of behavior that may not always serve our best interests. From an early age, the subconscious mind begins collecting data. It absorbs everything we hear, see, and experience, often without any filtering. For instance, a child who repeatedly hears phrases like "you're not good at math" may internalize this message, and it becomes a part of their subconscious belief system. Later in life, even when presented with evidence to the contrary, that person might still struggle with math. Not because of their actual ability, but because their subconscious has accepted the narrative that they are incapable. The subconscious doesn't differentiate between truth and perception. It simply records and acts on what it is repeatedly told. This aspect of the subconscious mind highlights the immense power it wields over our lives. If the majority of our decisions, reactions, and habits stem from subconscious programming, then an understanding how it operates is essential for personal growth and transformation. The subconscious operates largely through repetition and emotional intensity. When a behavior or thought is repeated frequently or attached to a strong emotion, it becomes ingrained in the subconscious. This is why habits are so hard to break, and why certain memories or experiences, especially traumatic ones, can have a lasting impact on our lives. For example, think about a person who has developed a fear of public speaking. This fear might have originated from a single event, such as being embarrassed in front of a crowd as a child. The emotional intensity of that moment gets imprinted on the subconscious, creating an automatic fear response whenever a similar situation arises. Even if the conscious mind recognizes that public speaking is a valuable skill, the subconscious overrides this logic with its deeply rooted fear. This is why simply thinking positive or trying to will oneself into action often fails. The subconscious programming must first be addressed and altered. The power of the subconscious mind extends beyond individual behavior to influence how we perceive the world. Our beliefs about success, relationships, money, and self-worth are all shaped by the subconscious. These beliefs act as filters through which we interpret our experiences. If someone subconsciously believes they are unworthy of love, they may unconsciously sabotage relationships or fail to recognize genuine acts of affection. Similarly, a person who believes wealth is only for the lucky few might find themselves struggling financially, not because they lack the ability, but because their subconscious aligns their actions with this limiting belief. However, the subconscious is not an immutable force. While it is incredibly powerful, it is also highly malleable. The same processes that created limiting beliefs and negative patterns can be used to create empowering ones. This begins with conscious awareness. By recognizing that many of our thoughts and behaviors stem from subconscious programming, we can start to question and challenge them. Why do I react this way? Where did this belief come from? Is it serving me? Such introspection is the first step toward reclaiming control from the subconscious. Another effective way to influence the subconscious is through repetition. Just as it internalizes limiting beliefs through repeated exposure, it can adopt empowering beliefs through consistent reinforcement. Positive affirmations, for example, work by repeatedly exposing the subconscious to new, constructive narratives. Over time, these affirmations can replace negative scripts. Visualization is another powerful tool. By vividly imagining desired outcomes, we create a mental blueprint that the subconscious begins to accept as reality. This is why elite athletes often use visualization to enhance performance. Their subconscious minds start to align their actions with the success they repeatedly envision. The subconscious also responds to emotional intensity. Experiences or affirmations that evoke strong emotions are more likely to leave a lasting imprint. This is why gratitude and emotional engagement are emphasized in practices like meditation or goal setting. When we attach positive emotions to our desired outcomes, we reinforce them in the subconscious, making it more likely that our thoughts and actions will align with those goals. While the subconscious mind can feel like a double-edged sword, it ultimately exists to serve us. Its primary function is to make life easier by automating repetitive tasks and providing quick responses based on past experiences. The challenge lies in ensuring that its programming aligns with our conscious goals and values. This requires ongoing effort, but the rewards are profound. When we take the time to understand and reprogram our subconscious, we unlock a reservoir of potential that can propel us toward greater success, happiness, and fulfillment. In conclusion, the subconscious mind is undeniably powerful, controlling 95% of our mental activity. Its influence shapes our thoughts, behaviors, and perceptions, often without our conscious awareness. While this can lead to unintentional patterns or limitations, it also presents an incredible opportunity for transformation. By recognizing the role of the subconscious and actively working to reshape its programming, we can harness its power to create the lives we desire. The subconscious is not our master, it is our most valuable ally, waiting to be guided toward our highest aspirations. Automatic behaviors and habits form the foundation of much of our daily lives. These behaviors, governed by the subconscious mind, allow us to perform tasks without conscious thought, freeing up mental energy for other activities. While this automatic functioning is crucial for efficiency and survival, it also has profound implications for how we live and the results we achieve. Understanding the nature of these habits and behaviors is the first step toward harnessing their potential and addressing their limitations. From the moment we wake up in the morning, our day is guided by a series of routines that have become second nature. Think about it: brushing your teeth, brewing your coffee, or scrolling through your phone often happen without deliberate thought. These activities are so deeply ingrained that they require minimal conscious effort. This automaticity is possible because the subconscious mind stores repetitive actions and patterns, effectively automating them to save energy. This process is not only efficient but essential. Imagine if you had to consciously think through every step of brushing your teeth or tying your shoes every single day. It would be exhausting and leave little mental capacity for more complex tasks. The formation of automatic behaviors begins with repetition. When an action is repeated often enough, the subconscious mind internalizes it as a habit. Initially, a new behavior requires conscious effort and focus. For instance, learning to drive a car involves actively thinking about the pedals, steering, and mirrors. Over time, however, these actions become automatic. This transition from conscious effort to subconscious automation is the result of neural pathways being strengthened through practice. The more frequently a behavior is repeated, the stronger the neural connections become, eventually making the action second nature. While automatic behaviors and habits are beneficial, they are not inherently good or bad. Their impact depends on the nature of the habits themselves. Positive habits, such as exercising regularly, maintaining a healthy diet, or practicing gratitude, can lead to improved well-being and success. On the other hand, negative habits, such as procrastination, overeating, or excessive screen time, can hinder progress and contribute to stress or dissatisfaction. The subconscious mind does not differentiate between helpful and harmful habits, it simply reinforces whatever is repeated. This is why self-awareness is so critical. Without conscious evaluation, we may find ourselves trapped in patterns that do not serve our best interests. Emotional responses are another form of automatic behavior influenced by the subconscious mind. When faced with a specific situation, we often react in predictable ways based on past experiences. For example, someone who has experienced rejection might automatically feel anxious or defensive in social settings. These responses are not always logical or beneficial, but they are deeply rooted in the subconscious. They serve as shortcuts, allowing us to respond quickly to stimuli without the need for conscious analysis. However, these shortcuts can sometimes lead to overreactions or misjudgments. especially if they are based on outdated or inaccurate beliefs. Breaking free from negative habits and emotional responses requires deliberate effort and conscious intervention. Because the subconscious mind operates automatically, change begins with the conscious mind identifying and challenging unhelpful patterns. For instance, if procrastination has become an automatic behavior, the first step is to recognize when and why it occurs. Perhaps the habit stems from a fear of failure or a lack of clarity about the task. By bringing these underlying causes to light, the conscious mind can begin to reprogram the subconscious through intentional actions and repetition. Replacing negative habits with positive ones is a gradual process. It involves consistently practicing new behaviors until they too become automatic. This is why small, incremental changes are often more effective than drastic overhauls. Trying to completely transform a routine overnight can be overwhelming, leading to resistance and eventual failure. Instead, focusing on one habit at a time allows the subconscious to adapt more easily. Over time, these small changes compound, creating a ripple effect that transforms multiple areas of life. One of the challenges in addressing automatic behaviors is the influence of external triggers. Many habits are tied to specific cues in our environment. For example, the habit of reaching for a snack might be triggered by watching television, even if you are not hungry. Identifying and altering these triggers is a powerful way to disrupt unwanted patterns. This might involve creating a new environment that supports positive habits or introducing intentional pauses to interrupt automatic reactions. The concept of mindfulness is particularly relevant when addressing automatic behaviors. Mindfulness involves being fully present and aware of the moment, which can disrupt the subconscious autopilot and bring conscious attention to our actions. When we practice mindfulness, we gain the ability to observe our habits without judgment and make intentional choices. For example, instead of automatically reacting with anger in a heated discussion, mindfulness allows us to pause, reflect, and choose a more constructive response. The influence of past experiences on our subconscious mind is profound and far-reaching, shaping the way we perceive, react to, and interact with the world around us. These experiences, stored deep within the layers of our subconscious, often dictate our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without our conscious awareness. They form the mental framework through which we interpret life, often acting as unseen forces that guide our decisions and actions. Understanding this influence is crucial for recognizing how our past molds our present and for taking control of the patterns it creates. From the earliest moments of life, every experience leaves an imprint on the subconscious mind. Childhood, in particular, is a critical period during which foundational beliefs and perceptions are formed. The way we are treated by caregivers, the environment we grow up in, and the significant events we encounter during this time all contribute to the development of our subconscious programming. For instance, a child who grows up in a supportive and nurturing environment is likely to develop a strong sense of self-worth and confidence. Conversely, a child exposed to criticism, neglect, or trauma may internalize feelings of inadequacy or fear. These early experiences become the templates for how we interpret future situations. If a child is repeatedly praised for their efforts, they may grow up believing in their ability to overcome challenges. On the other hand, if a child is consistently told they are not good enough, they may develop a subconscious belief that limits their potential. These beliefs often operate below the surface of conscious thought, influencing our choices and actions in subtle but powerful ways. The subconscious mind is not only shaped by the major events of our past, but also by the repetitive patterns and messages we encounter. A person who has experienced repeated failure in a particular area may subconsciously come to believe that success is unattainable for them, even if the circumstances later change. Similarly, repeated exposure to empowering or positive experiences can instill resilience and optimism. These patterns become self-reinforcing over time because the subconscious mind seeks consistency. It tends to filter out information that contradicts its established beliefs and focuses on evidence that supports them, creating a feedback loop that strengthens its existing programming. Emotional responses are deeply tied to past experiences stored in the subconscious. For instance, someone who has faced rejection in the past may react with anxiety or fear in situations that resemble those earlier experiences, even if the present context is entirely different. These emotional triggers can lead to automatic reactions that seem out of proportion or unrelated to the current moment. This is because the subconscious mind is not concerned with logic. It operates based on the emotional weight of past events. Recognizing how past experiences influence our subconscious mind is the first step toward breaking free from limiting patterns. By bringing these subconscious influences to light, we can begin to challenge and reframe them. For example, someone who has internalized a belief of inadequacy due to past criticism can consciously work to replace that belief with one of self-acceptance and capability. This process requires self-awareness and a willingness to confront the underlying emotions tied to those beliefs. Techniques such as journaling, meditation, and therapy can be powerful tools for uncovering the subconscious impact of past experiences. Journaling allows for reflection and helps identify recurring themes in thoughts and behaviors. Meditation creates a space for observing the mind without judgment, making it easier to recognize patterns that may have gone unnoticed. Therapy, especially approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or trauma-focused methods, provides a structured way to explore and address the influence of past experiences. Healing the influence of negative past experiences often involves reprogramming the subconscious mind. This can be achieved through practices like affirmations, visualization, and emotional release techniques. Affirmations are positive statements repeated consistently to replace negative beliefs. Visualization involves imagining desired outcomes in vivid detail, which can help rewire the subconscious by creating new emotional associations. Emotional release techniques, such as somatic therapy or breathwork, address the stored emotional energy of past experiences, helping to dissolve their hold on the subconscious. Despite the challenges, it is important to acknowledge that the influence of past experiences is not permanent. The brain's neuroplasticity allows us to form new neural pathways, which means the subconscious mind can be reshaped through intentional practice and effort. Each time we consciously choose a different perspective or behavior, we weaken old patterns and strengthen new ones. Over time, this creates a shift in the subconscious programming, enabling us to break free from the limitations of the past. While negative experiences can create limiting beliefs, positive experiences can have an equally transformative impact. By seeking out and embracing new positive experiences, we can override old, unhelpful patterns with empowering ones. Surrounding ourselves with supportive people, engaging in activities that bring joy and fulfillment, and setting and achieving meaningful goals all contribute to this process. The more we expose our subconscious mind to uplifting and affirming experiences, the more it adapts to reflect those influences. In conclusion, the subconscious mind is profoundly shaped by past experiences, which act as the foundation for our beliefs, behaviors, and emotional responses. These experiences, especially those from childhood, create a mental framework that influences how we interpret and navigate life. While the impact of negative past experiences can be limiting, it is possible to break free from these patterns by bringing subconscious influences to light, challenging and reframing them, and intentionally creating positive experiences. Through self-awareness, deliberate effort, and persistence, we can transform the influence of the past and shape a future that aligns with our highest potential. The journey may not be easy, but it is one of the most empowering paths we can undertake. The power of beliefs and perceptions to shape our reality cannot be overstated. They act as the lens through which we view the world, influencing our thoughts, decisions, and behaviors. What we believe about ourselves, others, and the environment around us has a direct impact on how we experience life and what we ultimately achieve. While beliefs can empower us to reach great heights, they can also limit our potential if left unexamined. Understanding the profound influence of these mental constructs is essential for creating a reality that aligns with our goals and aspirations. At their core, beliefs are assumptions or convictions that we hold to be true. They are formed through a combination of personal experiences, cultural influences, education, and interactions with others. From a young age, our minds absorb information from our surroundings, and this information becomes the foundation for our belief systems. These beliefs often go unchallenged, becoming deeply ingrained in our subconscious mind. Over time, they act as filters, shaping how we perceive and interpret the world. Perception, closely tied to belief, is the process by which we interpret sensory information. While two people may experience the same event, their perceptions can differ dramatically based on their beliefs. For example, someone who believes that the world is full of opportunities may view a challenge as a stepping stone to success. Conversely, someone who believes that life is inherently difficult may perceive the same challenge as insurmountable. These differing perceptions influence the actions individuals take, ultimately leading to vastly different outcomes. Beliefs and perceptions operate largely in the background, influencing our reality without requiring conscious thought. This automatic nature can be both a strength and a limitation. On one hand, it allows us to navigate life efficiently, relying on established mental frameworks to make quick decisions. On the other hand, it can trap us in cycles of thought and behavior that do not serve our best interests. For instance, someone who subconsciously believes they are not worthy of success may sabotage opportunities or settle for less than they deserve, even if they consciously desire a better outcome. The self-fulfilling nature of beliefs is one of their most powerful aspects. When we hold a belief, we unconsciously seek evidence to support it, reinforcing its validity. This phenomenon is known as confirmation bias. For example, a person who believes they are bad at public speaking may focus on moments when they stumbled over their words while dismissing instances when they spoke confidently. Over time, this selective focus strengthens the belief, creating a cycle that shapes their reality. Similarly, positive beliefs can create cycles of success. Someone who believes they are capable of achieving their goals is more likely to take actions that lead to success, reinforcing their belief and encouraging further action. The influence of beliefs extends beyond individual experiences. They also shape our interactions with others. When we hold positive beliefs about the people around us, such as assuming their good intentions or capabilities, we are more likely to engage in constructive and supportive relationships. Conversely, negative beliefs such as mistrust or skepticism can lead to strained interactions and missed opportunities for connection. Our beliefs not only shape how we perceive others, but also how they perceive and respond to us, creating a dynamic interplay that influences our social reality. Changing deeply held beliefs requires conscious effort and a willingness to challenge the assumptions that feel most familiar. This process often begins with self-awareness, identifying the beliefs that influence our thoughts and behaviors. By reflecting on our experiences and questioning the validity of our assumptions, we can uncover limiting beliefs that no longer serve us. For instance, someone who believes they are not good with money might examine the origins of this belief, recognizing that it may stem from past experiences or cultural messages rather than an inherent truth. Once a limiting belief is identified, the next step is to replace it with a more empowering one. This process involves consistent repetition and reinforcement, as new beliefs must compete with the well-worn pathways of old ones. Techniques such as affirmations, visualization, and cognitive reframing can be effective tools for this purpose. Affirmations involve repeating positive statements that reflect the desired belief, while visualization entails imagining oneself embodying the new belief in vivid detail. Cognitive reframing involves shifting the perspective on past experiences to create a new narrative that supports the desired belief. The environment also plays a crucial role in shaping and reinforcing beliefs. Surrounding oneself with supportive and like-minded individuals can accelerate the process of adopting new perspectives. Positive reinforcement from peers, mentors, or communities helps solidify empowering beliefs, creating a feedback loop that encourages continued growth. Conversely, remaining in environments that reinforce limiting beliefs can make it more challenging to change, highlighting the importance of intentional choices about the people and situations we engage with. While the process of changing beliefs can be challenging, it is immensely rewarding. By aligning our beliefs with our aspirations, we can create a reality that reflects our true potential. The transformation begins within, as the mind gradually reshapes itself to adopt new patterns of thought and perception. Over time, these internal shifts manifest externally, influencing the opportunities we attract, the actions we take, and the results we achieve. In conclusion, beliefs and perceptions are the architects of our reality, shaping every aspect of our experiences and outcomes. The subconscious mind operates as a powerful force that runs beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, managing the majority of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Often likened to an autopilot system, it governs habits, reflexes, and instinctual reactions without requiring active decision-making. While this automatic functioning can be highly efficient, allowing us to conserve mental energy, it also means that the patterns stored in the subconscious can profoundly influence our lives without our direct control or understanding. Exploring how these automatic responses shape our daily existence reveals both the challenges and opportunities inherent in this dynamic. From the moment we wake up, our subconscious mind begins dictating much of what we do. Consider how many actions you perform out of habit: brushing your teeth, making coffee, commuting to work. These routine behaviors are guided by neural pathways in the subconscious, which have been developed and reinforced through repetition. Once a behavior becomes habitual, it no longer requires conscious thought, freeing up the conscious mind to focus on new and complex tasks. While this efficiency is a remarkable feature of the human brain, it also means that habits, whether beneficial or detrimental, can persist with little effort or oversight. The power of the subconscious extends beyond physical actions to encompass emotional responses. For example, a person might feel anxious in certain social situations without consciously understanding why. This response could stem from subconscious associations formed through past experiences, even those from childhood. Similarly, positive emotional responses, such as feeling comforted by a particular song, can arise from subconscious triggers linked to memories or environments. These automatic emotional reactions shape our moods and interactions, often setting the tone for how we approach the world. One of the most significant influences of the subconscious mind lies in its role in decision-making. While we often believe our choices are logical and deliberate, research shows that much of our decision-making is guided by subconscious processes. For instance, gut feelings or instincts are expressions of the subconscious mind drawing on accumulated knowledge and past experiences to provide quick assessments. While this can be advantageous in situations requiring rapid responses, it can also lead to biased or irrational decisions if the underlying subconscious patterns are flawed or outdated. The formation of subconscious patterns begins early in life, as we absorb information from our environment. Parents, teachers, peers, and cultural norms all contribute to shaping the subconscious mind. A child who grows up in an encouraging and supportive environment may develop subconscious patterns of confidence and resilience. Conversely, a child exposed to criticism or neglect may internalize beliefs of inadequacy, which can manifest as self-doubt or fear of failure in adulthood. These patterns, once established, can persist for years unless actively addressed. Breaking free from subconscious patterns that no longer serve us requires a combination of awareness and intentional effort. The first step is to recognize the automatic thoughts, feelings, or behaviors that may be holding us back. For example, someone who consistently procrastinates might uncover a subconscious fear of failure or a belief that they perform best under pressure. Identifying these patterns involves self-reflection, mindfulness, and sometimes the guidance of a mentor or therapist. Once these patterns are brought to light, the next step is to reprogram the subconscious mind. This process often involves replacing old patterns with new, empowering ones through repetition and reinforcement. Techniques such as affirmations, visualization, and hypnosis can help implant positive messages into the subconscious. For example, repeating affirmations like "I am capable of achieving my goals" can gradually overwrite a subconscious belief of inadequacy. Visualization, in which a person imagines themselves succeeding in specific scenarios, helps create mental blueprints that the subconscious mind can act upon. Another effective approach to reshaping subconscious patterns is through the practice of mindfulness. By becoming more present and aware of our thoughts and feelings in the moment, we can catch automatic responses as they arise and consciously choose different actions. For example, someone working to overcome a pattern of anger might notice their initial surge of frustration and take a few deep breaths before responding. Over time, this mindful intervention can help rewire the subconscious to adopt calmer, more constructive reactions. The role of the environment in shaping subconscious patterns cannot be overlooked. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences, whether through supportive relationships, inspiring media, or enriching activities, provides the subconscious mind with new inputs that align with our goals. For instance, regularly engaging with a community of goal-oriented individuals can help reinforce patterns of motivation and accountability. On the other hand, environments that reinforce limiting beliefs or negative behaviors can make it challenging to break free from existing patterns, underscoring the importance of curating our surroundings. As we work to reshape the subconscious, it is crucial to exercise patient self-compassion. Subconscious patterns, especially deeply ingrained ones, take time to change. Setbacks are natural and should be viewed as opportunities for learning rather than failures. Consistency in applying techniques, coupled with a willingness to celebrate small victories, builds momentum for lasting transformation. In conclusion, the subconscious mind's automatic functioning plays a central role in shaping our lives, guiding our habits, emotions, and decisions with remarkable efficiency. While this automaticity can be a source of strength, allowing us to navigate daily life with ease, it can also perpetuate patterns that limit our potential. By becoming aware of these subconscious influences and taking intentional steps to reprogram them, we can harness the power of the subconscious to align with our goals and aspirations. Through self-reflection, repetition, mindfulness, and positive environmental influences, we can rewrite the script of our subconscious mind, creating a life that reflects our true potential and desires? The subconscious mind has a profound ability to store and organize information from every experience, interaction, and thought we encounter throughout our lives. This vast repository of data becomes the foundation for our behaviors, beliefs, and emotional responses. Often referred to as the database of the mind, the subconscious doesn't merely collect and store, it categorizes and associates information in ways that influence how we perceive and interact with the world. Understanding this complex process reveals the immense potential and challenges of unlocking the true power of the subconscious. From a young age, our subconscious mind begins cataloging experiences and encoding them into mental frameworks or schemas. These schemas shape how we interpret new situations, respond to challenges, and relate to others. For example, if a child repeatedly hears praise for their creativity, the subconscious will likely form a belief that you're a creative person. Conversely, repeated criticism might lead to internalized self-doubt. This encoding happens automatically and without conscious effort, allowing the subconscious mind to operate as a behind-the-scenes manager of our mental landscape. As the subconscious organizes information, it often relies on patterns and associations to make sense of the data it receives. These patterns can be both beneficial and limiting. For instance, if someone has a series of positive experiences with public speaking, their subconscious may develop a pattern of confidence in that area, making them more likely to approach similar opportunities with enthusiasm. On the other hand, negative experiences such as failure or rejection can lead to the formation of fear or avoidance patterns that persist even when the circumstances no longer warrant them. One fascinating aspect of how the subconscious organizes information is its ability to link seemingly unrelated events or stimuli. This process, known as associative learning, plays a significant role in forming habits and emotional responses. For example, a particular smell might trigger a memory of a specific event or person, even if the connection is not immediately obvious. These associations are not random, they are formed through repeated exposure and reinforcement. Over time, these linked pieces of information become deeply embedded in the subconscious, shaping our preferences, fears, and motivations. The subconscious also plays a crucial role in filtering and prioritizing information. Given the vast amount of sensory input we encounter daily, it would be impossible for our conscious mind to process everything. The subconscious acts as a gatekeeper, deciding what information to bring to our conscious awareness based on its perceived relevance. This filtering mechanism is influenced by our existing beliefs, goals, and emotional states. For instance, if someone believes they are unlucky, their subconscious may prioritize experiences that reinforce that belief while filtering out evidence to the contrary. This selective attention underscores the power of the subconscious in shaping our perception of reality. While the subconscious's organizational abilities are highly efficient, they can also pose challenges when it comes to personal growth and change. Because the subconscious mind prioritizes familiarity and consistency, it tends to resist new information that contradicts established patterns. This resistance can manifest as self-sabotage or a reluctance to step outside of one's comfort zone. For example, someone trying to adopt healthier habits may find themselves reverting to old behaviors because their subconscious is more comfortable with the status quo. Overcoming these challenges requires intentional effort to rewrite the subconscious programming. One effective approach is repetition, which helps to replace old patterns with new ones over time. For example, repeatedly visualizing success or affirming positive beliefs can create new associations in the subconscious that align with desired outcomes. This process mirrors how the subconscious initially organizes information through consistent exposure and reinforcement. Another powerful technique for influencing the subconscious is emotional intensity. Experiences or messages accompanied by strong emotions are more likely to be encoded deeply into the subconscious. This is why traumatic events often have a lasting impact. But it also means that positive emotional experiences can be used to reinforce empowering beliefs. For instance, celebrating small victories in the pursuit of a goal can create a positive emotional association that encourages continued effort. The subconscious's role in organizing information also highlights the importance of mindfulness and self-awareness. By becoming more attuned to the automatic thoughts and feelings that arise in various situations, we can begin to identify the patterns stored in our subconscious. This awareness is the first step in challenging limiting beliefs and replacing them with more constructive alternatives. For example, noticing a recurring thought like "I'm not good enough" provides an opportunity to consciously counter it with affirmations of self-worth. The environment also plays a critical role in shaping the subconscious organizational framework. Surrounding oneself with positive influences, whether through relationships, media, or physical spaces, provides the subconscious with new inputs that align with personal growth. For example, spending time with people who inspire and support you can reinforce beliefs of capability and resilience. Conversely, toxic environments can perpetuate negative patterns, making it essential to curate one's surroundings intentionally. Harnessing the organizational power of the subconscious requires patience and persistence. Because the subconscious operates on deeply ingrained patterns, change is often gradual rather than immediate.